Yo, welcome to Spectator Sporting. I'm Zachary Roach, along with my co-host, Adi Wiley. We got a special guest in the building, my man, Vito. What's happening, Vito?
What's going on?
Man, make sure y'all go on YouTube, check out the Spectator Sporting page, check out old clips. We got videos, we got the previous video we just did. Go ahead and check it out. Go ahead and do some comments. Today, we are talking about the 2020 NBA draft. I mean, can you believe that the season just ended, the Lakers just won a championship, and now we're all talking about the draft, but it's November. It is November, so that's very crazy time. So I'm going to kick it off with you, Vito. Let's talk about, we got three, I guess, it's a consensus. Well, I don't know if it's a consensus or not, but these players have been talked about the most. You got Anthony Edwards, James Wiseman, and LaMelo Ball. So, Vito, tell me about Anthony Edwards.
Well, Anthony Edwards, I think he's a really solid prospect. He comes out of Georgia, and he's about 6'5", 6'4", 220-odd pounds. Really, really strong, athletically built, pretty long arms. His athleticism is what's going to take him to the next level. It looks to me to be comparable to Dwayne Wade, maybe Donovan Mitchell, perhaps.
Oh, wow.
His cons, though, you got to look at his cons. His cons are he really needs to improve on his shooting, and more or less maybe his shooting decision making. Like the guy likes to shoot a lot of hero ball type shots, and he's an average to below average defender in the SEC. He played a lot of bottom feeders last year. Didn't get the opportunity to play against the top competition. He'll need to commit himself to becoming a pro first and become the star second. So that's my take on it.
So, do you think he's number one? There's a lot of chatter that Minnesota is going to go with him as their number one pick. If he goes number one, how do you like that pick for the Timberwolves?
I think the Timberwolves need a veteran, in my opinion. He would slide in at that two-guard role, fit right in with Russell and with Cat. But my opinion on a lot of these guys, I wouldn't necessarily draft a number one pick that breaks out as a B on my chart. He gets a B grade from me. A lot of those things. I got two comparisons on my notes. J.R. Ryder.
Wow.
And also Stanley Johnson.
Oh, no.
So you took it.
The boy for the Pistons, right?
Yeah. So you could be a Dwayne Wade or you could be a Stanley Johnson. So
you got him as a bust?
Possible.
Wow.
Potential bust.
I think he's a nice fit in Minnesota, though. I think he's a nice fit. Like, you got Karl Anthony Towns, you got D'Angelo Russell. He was a point guard in 2019, all-star point guard for the Brooklyn Nets. And then, don't forget, in 2019, they got the number 6 overall pick, Jared Culver. He's there from Texas Tech. He averaged 9 points a game in 24 minutes. He's going to get a bigger role. I think Anthony Edwards would fit perfectly at the number 3 spot with the Minnesota Timberwolves. But like you said, he does need to increase his efficiency. He takes bad shots. That's why he shot 29% from the 3-point from downtown, and so 40% from the field. But he can score. He's a scorer. He's a natural scorer, and so I think Minnesota going to snag him and put him at small forward. That would be very interesting. In Minnesota,
and then with Karl Anthony Towns, like you saying, at the guard, you slide him in that wing, and now you got Kobe, who's an athlete, and then Edwards could be a scorer for them at the wing position. We'll see how that works out.
He could be a Shabazz Muhammad as well.
Wow. Ooh, Shabazz. Is he still playing?
No way. Maccabi Tel Aviv, possibly. No, he's not even that good. He might be in the third league over there.
So obviously, Vito is very down. He's not sold on Anthony Edwards. Let's talk about a player before the draft, before the pandemic, before all this was getting a lot of pub, and his name is James Wiseman. I mean, you talk about going to Memphis with Anthony Hardaway, him getting suspended because of his ties and his connections to Anthony Hardaway, Penny. But he was built up a lot. But now I'm looking at a lot of draft boards. And a lot of people have him slipping in the draft. So, Adi, tell me about James Wiseman.
Well, yeah, you know what, James Wiseman, he's 7'1", 240 pounds. He has explosive leaping ability. But like you said, man, he, due to his mom accepting $11,500 from Penny Hardaway, he only played 3 games this past college season. He was suspended, all right? And 2 of those games came against inferior opponents. You had South Carolina State and UIC. But James Wiseman and the Memphis Tigers did play one game against the 13th ranked Oregon Ducks, and I was impressed by James Wiseman in that game. On the rebounds, he took pride in snagging as many rebounds as he possibly could, and he didn't rely on his superior size and athleticism. He actually boxed out those guys. That's going to help him out a lot on the next level. He had 12 rebounds against Oregon, and also he controlled the paint. He altered a lot of shots in the paint. Now, offensively, he had 2 tip dunks, another dunk, a layup, and he shot 3 jumpers outside the paint. He went 1 for 3 on his jump shots, and he was 4 for 6 from the free throw line, and that's where the question marks come in. Can he be develop a consistent jump shot? Can he be a stretch big man on the next level? I think he can. I like his form. I like his stroke. He has a nice arc on his shot. He looks like he can be a stretch big man on the next level. But the other question is, can he be the kind of guy? Can he be a big man that you can go to create his own shot in iso ball in the post? Can he do that? I don't think so. I didn't see enough of that from him in college. When he did post up, seldomly he posted up, but he had to shoot a little fade. He's a left-hand guy. He didn't really use his size. He didn't show a lot of skills in the post and creating his own shot. But at the very least, you're getting a rebounder and a shot blocker, and if he can become a stretch four and get that consistent jump shot, if I had to compare him to somebody in the NBA right now, it would be a taller, more athletic Serge Ibaka.
Oh, okay. Serge Ibaka. So is he worthy of a top 3 pick? Is he a top 3 guy?
I don't think, you know what, that's a good question. I don't think he's a top 3 prospect in the draft, but I think he's going to go in the top 3 just based off need.
Okay.
You know, so like I think the Golden State Warriors was strongly considered taking him because the Lakers been bullying people around in the paint. You got the Joker, you got Rudy Gobert. You know, I think that's a void that the Golden State Warriors need to fill. So I don't think he's a top 3 player, but I think he's going to go in the top 3.
Very interesting.
Yeah, that is very interesting. Wiseman, like you say, is athletic. But it's fun, you know. I think defensively he'll be good in the NBA. I think defensively he'll be able to play right away, and I think he can help a lot of teams. But as a talent, and this is the one thing we talk about off air, this pandemic, we really haven't got a chance to see guys play a lot. So we don't. Maybe Wiseman has more to his game that we just haven't seen yet. So maybe it is more. And we talked about earlier how the NBA players came with new games into the bubble. Maybe these guys who've been working out haven't played. I mean, when the last time? There was no NCAA tournament.
In March, March was the last time.
You know, so maybe they've added some things to their bag. So we shall see. The third guy is LaMelo Ball. Right. Now, here we go. Here we go again. Another Ball.
Right.
Now here, LaMelo is a guy. Lonzo is more known for his passing and stuff. LaMelo is more of a scorer. Now, what I've seen of him, he has a terrific handle with the basketball. He does have handles, and he can score, and he's got great floaters around the rim and stuff that can get going. And his passing ability, I mean, I just think all the balls can pass. That's I mean, say what you want about it, they daddy, but their daddy taught them how to pass the ball. That's one thing they do, no question. I think his cons is he's athletic, but I don't know if he's like super athletic. You know, when he in Australia, now don't get me wrong, in Australia he averaged 17 points a game, 6.8 assists and 5.7 rebounds, which is really good. But the NBA is a whole different athletic level. So he relies on his handles to get his shots. He relies on his handles. So in the NBA, we're going to see if he's going to be able to do that. Now, he's only 19. And what I do like about him, he's a very intelligent player. That's another thing that the Balls are. They are very smart on the basketball court. They might not have all the other skills, but they are very intelligent players. So LaMelo Ball, he's kind of a mold. He's like a lesser Zach LaVine almost in a sense, where he can score. You know, he's kind of like that way. He's not as athletic as Zach LaVine, but he can score. He got the moves. He got the dribbles. He can get to the rack. He passes way better than Zach LaVine.
No doubt about that. He's Zach LaVine that will pass the ball. Yeah. So,
but defensively, he's going to struggle.
Yeah.
He's going to struggle when he gets to the league.
He got the height, though. He's got to put the effort into it.
He got to put the effort into it. And just like most rookies, they all struggle when they come to the league and on defense for the most part. So, I think he's probably going to go top 3? Because one thing, he's going to put butts in the seats.
Oh, of course.
He's going to put whenever they can sit down in the seat.
Right.
He's gonna do that. And so I think a good team for him would be the Charlotte. I think Michael Jordan should go ahead and get him. I think that, he'll fit right into he go right into that 2-guard role, kind of the combo guard where, you got Terry Rozier, who he overpaid for, but that's a whole different story.
Right.
But at least you can have him who can also handle the ball and maybe have Terry Rozier go off the ball at times so where he can run the show a little bit and be he can kind of have the ball and learn at Charlotte. So I think Charlotte would be a great fit for LaMelo Ball. I think that's where he should go. I say number 3 for LaMelo Ball.
Yeah, you read my mind because I think LaMelo Ball is the best passer in this entire draft. Yeah. And but don't forget about Devontae Graham with the Charlotte Hornets though. He came out of nowhere.
Yeah. He actually pretty much took
Terry Rozier. He took his spot. Yeah. You're right. Second round pick.
Crowded backcourt.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
they got Lamb still, right, too.
Well, yeah, he probably. I know they got Rozier, and Rozier making $18.9 million a year through 2022, and so, but you got to take the best player available.
Exactly, it doesn't matter. You didn't make Monk too. Yeah,
they got Monk. They got Monk too.
Okay, they didn't make the playoffs last year.
They crowded that court.
Yeah.
Crowded.
I mean, it ain't crowded enough.
Can they? I would love for them to fall to number 4. To the Bulls, if that Jordan, but Jordan ain't gonna pass up on ball.
I think Jordan's definitely gonna get LaMelo because Jordan, that's gonna bring some excitement to Charlotte. Like,
of course,
it's gonna bring Danny gonna be over there talking and everybody's gonna wanna, it's gonna bring some.
And we don't see like the Golden State Warriors taking them because they got Curry. We don't see Minnesota. People say Minnesota may take LaMelo Ball, but he got D'Angelo Russell. He was an all-star point guard in 2019 with Brooklyn. I think they'd go with Anthony Edwards. I see Ball going to.
I see him going to Charlotte. Yeah, I don't think he gets past number 3. Now, if he goes higher than that, I would be surprised. Not because of his talent, but because, like you said, the needs. So I just think, but LaMelo Ball, I think he's so. You think he's? I asked both of y'all this, then we'll move on. Will he be better than Lonzo?
Good. Yeah, I think he'd be better than Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball kind of underwhelming. He kind of disappointed me. I thought he would be much better.
I think LaMelo Ball got a better bounce to his step when you compare them and you see the eye test, right? The eye test gives you the opportunity to see if the player is going to be explosive, really explosive. And it seems to me LaMelo was really explosive where he could come across half court, raise from 3s, even though he got the weird type jump shot. But anyway, he still does it. But then also the bounce, he gets to the rim, he really attacks the rim when you see him play, some of the lesser competition. But I think he got more of a bounce with his step, so I think he'll be, and he's taller.
He's definitely a better scorer. There's no question about that. Now, defensively, Lonzo got that all day.
Yeah.
Defensively, Lonzo got that all day. But we shall see. But let's talk about the Golden State Warriors. This is a crazy position right now. You talk about a team that just went on like a 5-year stretch like no other, where they was in the finals. They won 3 championships. But that last championship they lost to the Raptors. Klay Thompson got hurt. Steph Durant was hurt. Steph ended up coming back next season, but then getting hurt right away. Only played like 5 games. Came back for like a game or 2, and then the pandemic started. And then it was just Draymond Green and a bunch of players. They ended up trading for Andrew Wiggins, which could be a sleeper trade move in the long run. Let's be real. So now you go into 2021 season. You bringing back 2-time MVP Steph Curry. You bringing back, Klay Thompson is phenomenal. So you bringing this, the Splash Brothers are back. But in that time when they was hurt, they sucked. So they ended up getting a number 2 pick. So I'm going to start with you on this one. What the hell should the Warriors do with this number 2 pick?
Well, you know what? The Warriors got to do whatever it takes to not get bullied in the paint by the Los Angeles Lakers next season, just like all the other Western Conference did last year in the bubble, in the playoffs, okay? And so if Golden State feel like they just got to trade their number 2 pick, I believe they're going to have to package Andrew Wiggins' $29.5 million salary a year with the number 2 pick. Because Draymond Green, he's making $22 million in 2020-21 season. Also, Klay Thompson, he's making $35 million. And Steph Curry is making $43 million next season. All right. And so the Warriors could trade Wiggins in a number 2 pick to Cleveland for their number 5 pick and Kevin Love. Love, he only missed 9 games last year, and he did as usual, 17 points, 10 rebounds a game last season with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Or they can also trade for Detroit's number 7 overall pick in Blake Griffin if they feel like he's fully recovered from his knee surgery. Or they can trade for the San Antonio Spurs number 11 overall pick in LaMarcus Aldridge. He'll be a free agent in 2021. The Spurs don't want to lose him for anything. They might want to think about rebuilding over there in San Antonio. And finally, if Bradley Beal demands a trade with the Washington Wizards, they could go ahead and trade Wiggins in the number 2 pick to Washington and hope they can get the Wizards number 9 overall pick and draft the guy, the defensive-minded big man from USC, Okongwu. Okay, I probably said his name wrong, but Okongwu at USC, he's a very good defensive player. He can catch oops. He's very athletic. He can get them some defense in the paint. So, or the Warriors, they don't even have to trade the pick at all. They can keep the pick and go ahead and go ahead and draft James Wiseman. All right, draft him, coach him up so he can get a jump shot, become a stretch big man for their squad. I say if they can't get Bradley Beal in the trade, go ahead and draft James Wiseman, because those other big guys, they kind of overpaid, they kind of old. So Wiseman, he can harass Anthony Davis, harass the Joker, Rudy Gobert, so they can go ahead and make it to the finals.
Okay, Vito, same question to you. What should the Warriors do with that number 2 pick?
I gotta agree with Adi on that. I really gotta go with the possible trade scenarios. I really like a lot of the trade scenarios Adi presented, but I'm thinking, if they're gonna do something, they got to look at the future versus present. So James Wiseman may or may not present that competitive edge to put them over the top this year. So that leads us to the trade route. So who are you going to trade? Who can you get to compete against Anthony Davis? He named a few names, and probably not. Kevin Love is not a rim protector, so he's not going to provide anything. I like the trade scenario to trade down. A lot of the top picks in the draft, I think, should be traded down and get the maximum value. So if I was the Golden State Warriors, I probably would trade that number 2 pick. And I would trade down to see what I could get. Maybe even a package to get a few picks. And I know there's a few teams out there that got multiple picks. So I would trade down, maybe, heist one of their guys. Also, trade, get multiple picks, and then go from there. So I think they would trade.
Yeah, I think they should trade too. Listen. Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, they've been in the league now. They're going in their 30s now. They're on win now mode. They're not going to sit around for a rebuild or something like that. So Golden State job is to do whatever it takes for them to win. And so you explore all possibilities. You named a couple big men. I'm looking at Cleveland. I think you picked the wrong big man. I'm looking at Andre Drummond. I think that's the guy that they need, because he's a guy that's tall, big, who go get you 20 rebounds, no question about it, and can better. He's a lot more skilled on offense than people like to give him credit for. And then when you're playing with people like Steph Curry and Klay, he's going to be wide open. I think that's the guy they should target right there. Now, I don't know if Cleveland wants to keep him. I don't know if they're going to make him a centerpiece, but I think he'll be a perfect fit for them for what they're trying to do, because he can finish at the rim, he's athletic, and he's tall, and he can go bang with the LA boys. Because that's what it's about. That's what it's about, being able to match up size-wise with the Lakers. So, I think Kevin Love would be a good, but I don't know if he'd be good for that team.
Well, you know what, the thing about Kevin Love, he gonna get the rebounds. He does rebound. The Lakers, they getting all these second, third chance points. That's not gonna happen a lot with Kevin Love. That man can get rebounds. Now, Andre Drummond, that is an option because he will be a free agent in 2021. I know Cleveland don't want to lose him for nothing. I'm sure they're trying to trade Andre Drummond. But my problem with Drummond, I thought about him, but the thing is, he can be a Hacker Drummond situation.
Yeah.
The man can't shoot free throws.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
And so,
that's true.
if I'm Golden State, I'm taking James Wiseman over Andre Drummond. If I'm Golden State, only way I trade the pick is if I get Bradley Beal and I can throw Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and then Okongwu or something, a rookie at center. I would take. Let's say they can't get Beal. I would just go with James Wiseman. He can hit the free throws. He has nice form. He can hit the shot. He got defense. You got to teach him. He gets a little too thirsty for blocks, going for pump fakes, things like that. But he can be coached. The man is 7'1", super athletic. I think they should go with James. Because think about it, I'm going to tell you one more thing. Tyler Hero, he was a rookie. And they went to the finals with the Miami Heat. Sam Cassell was a rookie with the Rockets when they won the championship. Ginobili was a rookie. Richard Dumas with the Phoenix Suns against the Bulls in '93. There's rookies that make it to the finals and contribute. You don't got to be a superstar. Wiseman could just average about 10 rebounds, 10 points, and they'd be straight.
But I'm going to be real. You know who they're going against.
They're going against
You know who they're going against. Now, listen, Wiseman, I get it. All that makes sense. But we're talking about this year. The next couple years. They need somebody now. Because the Lakers they're going to be back next year. If they want to beat the Lakers, we're not talking about any team. We're talking about LeBron James and Anthony Davis. The best big man in basketball. He showed it when he got with LeBron that he's the best big man in basketball. You got to come with it. You got to go. You got to get somebody that's been there, that can be in the trenches. Now, Andre Drummond, you're right. That might not be the perfect scenario, but James Wiseman is so unknown. We can't just say, let's just throw James Wiseman on him and it's going to work out. We don't know. We haven't seen him play. We ain't seen him play against NBA talent yet.
Right.
We haven't seen it.
Wow, yeah.
Golden State has been so good over the years with their draft picks. You got to automatically know if they pick him, then he's going to be good.
Yeah,
I mean not automatically, but they got a good track record of drafting good players. Even this last season with all those quote unquote scrubs, a lot of those guys going to be able to play good.
They found some gems.
They found some gems. Credit to their organization.
I'm taking Wiseman over Drummond though.
I don't know.
Wiseman over Drummond.
Maybe 2 years from now, yes. But right now, today, no.
Yeah.
If I get Drummond right now, a proven player who I think he leads. I think he's got the most 20-point. I could be wrong about this. I think he's got the most games with over 20 rebounds.
He gets some rebounds. But the thing is, he's an offensive liability out there.
He is.
Yeah,
but
when you overly. You got an overabundance of offense. So you're talking about a 50-point score at the 2 and a 50-point score at the 1. You just kind of got to. You need a Rodman kind of down there. You need that.
You need a dirty somebody.
You need a dirty guy.
Yeah.
I mean, not to say he's a dirty player, but
Draymond,
but Draymond is 6'7".
Right.
Yeah, right.
Now you got two. Now you got
the
two
small
guys.
ball era is over. Thank you for the Lakers for that. The small ball era, they shut all that small ball stuff down.
And don't forget about Eric Pascal. He had a good season.
Pascal,
he's a small forward.
Now, I wouldn't be mad if they draft Wiseman. I'm just saying, but if they're gonna trade, I would go for it all because we don't know how much. Like once again, Klay coming off injury. We don't know how they're gonna be off injury. We still don't know how Steph's gonna be. Now, Andrew Wiggins could be the steal of that trade with Minnesota.
Yeah,
because he can slide into the third option. He might be best suited for that. So Golden State's gonna be really good. But to beat the Lakers, they need a big man. They need somebody who can go in there and bang. We saw that happen in the Western Conference. We saw the Rockets try that small ball stuff against them. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work because it's just too much. So,
but the one good thing about Golden State going into next year, let's say they drafted Wiseman, right? You got two protectors if you want to keep that team as a whole, right? You got Draymond that's going to protect Wiseman because he's going to help him learn the terminology and the spacing. And then you also got Klay Thompson that's going to help Wiggins to not have to be the man or even the second fiddle. He can slide right into his position at the 3, being the third option, or maybe even the fourth option, which it makes it like 110% times better.
No doubt.
So I think if they stay with Wiseman and keep that same team together, they may be really good.
Yeah.
Well, Golden State is going to be good regardless. Next year they are back. I mean, as long as everybody's healthy and ready to go, Steve Kerr, another great coach, he's going to have them ready to go. They'll be ready to go. And but to beat the Lakers, the standard, I mean, because that's pretty much what the standard is going to be. In the West is mad tough still. I know the Lakers won, but you still got Denver, still got the Joker. They got to deal with the Joker too.
The Clippers.
Yeah, the Clippers, they still there.
Healthy Portland.
Healthy Portland. Utah, there's been rumors that they're going to trade Rudy Gobert. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know if I would do that if I was Utah. They may want to hold off on that. I know they was mad about what happened with the COVID and stuff, but I don't know if I'd do that. And it's going to be real tough. And I think they need a big man. Plus, Stephen Clay is a little older now. They're a little older now. So, them trying to carry the whole load. Remember, they had Kevin Durant that was able to take a lot of load off them. So now they're going to be back on the focus. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see.
It'll be very interesting.
So, we got a couple one that's getting a lot of headlines right now. So, I'm going to start with you, Bayless. We got a player by the name of Obi Toppin. Tell me about Obi Toppin.
Yeah, Obi had a really good season last year for the Dayton Flyers. 6'9", 220. He projects out as a stretch forward in the NBA. Above average rebounder with good fundamentals. His comparisons are more or less in the lines of Kenyon Martin, Amari Stoudemire. If you get one of those guys, you probably struck gold, but possibly not, right? So if you want to give his cons is just like Kenyon Martin, 22 years old. In the NBA, they don't project out very well when you come.
That's
to the
crazy.
NBA.
22 is considered old.
You're considered old now, and the new analytical basketball age. You're 22 and you're too old. He may suffer from lack of competition playing Dayton Flyers. They don't play some of that high level competition. He's one of those guys that really would have benefited from being able to play in the NCAA tournament in 2020. His stock would have probably rose up, or maybe fell off a little bit. But he wouldn't be so much of an unknown playing against that top level talent, across the nation. His low projections I got is Tobias Harris, which is not bad, and Paul Millsap. So you're talking about four pretty quality players that you want to compare him to. Age could be a factor given his level of competition and his status as a late bloomer. It doesn't project out well, but it also puts you in as a rotational player in the NBA. You can switch most positions on defense so that he's automatically going to be a player that you want to put in the game because he's not going to get taken advantage of on pick and roll as often. But I did see one stat I was reading up on. It was talking about his hips, and I don't want to get into the physicists or the biomechanics of the human body, but they say his hips are too high, and he may not be able to slide his feet very well on the perimeter. So that grades out as maybe possibly having, some toughness in guarding some of those quicker guards coming off that pick and roll. So I would love to see this guy play a little bit more.
Absolutely. In a lot of mock drafts, they had the Bulls actually taking Obi Toppin. There was a lot of mock drafts saying that, but now they kind of changed it up a little bit. But at first, that was like the big pick.
Obi Toppin, I think he'd be a nice fit at the number 5 pick with Cleveland because, it's just odd seeing Kevin Love and Andre Drummond playing on a rebuilding team. I think the Cavs need to go ahead and trade those guys and give their 2018 number 8 overall pick, Colin Sexton, and their other guard, their 2019 number 5 overall pick, Darius Garland, a young, explosive big man to grow and develop with. Obi Toppin is the best dunker in this entire draft. He dunked between the legs in the game. So the guy is going to bring some excitement. But I am surprised with all that athleticism that he didn't grab more rebounds and get more blocks at Dayton University. He only averaged 7 rebounds a game, 1 block shot. But like Vegas was saying, the man has a nice jumper. He has a consistent jump shot. He can be a stretch big man, and but he does need to learn how to create his own shot in the post and iso ball. But I think at number 5, I think that's a good spot for him to go.
I agree with that. So I think Cleveland would be a good location for him. I'm hearing a lot of talk about these big men coming out the league, and none of them. Is it one big man that's coming out that we can say can get their own bucket, who knows how to post up, who can go get on the block and score 1-on-1?
Not really.
Obi Toppin might be the best.
He's probably the best one.
He had a couple years, and he had 3 years in college.
Yeah.
So he might be the most skilled big man as far as like creating his own shot. But these guys are just super athletic. Even Okongwu from USC, he's like a defender, athletic, getting dunks, but like back to the basket and things like that. We haven't seen it.
They're not getting coached up on that no more. They're not coaching up.
The game has changed so much. So they're not dumping it down and waiting for the guy to get himself together and make moves in the paint. It's like you pass it and you run, you cut, you gotta get out of here.
Wow.
You can't sit there. So
that's just strange to me. Let's talk about another one. Adi, tell me about the prospect from Israel, Deni. Say it for me.
Avdija. Deni Avdija.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? We can just call him Deni too, but right. So the man, you know what? He's a mysterious prospect. In 2019, he led Israel to a gold medal in their under-20 European Championship.
Oh, wow.
He was an 18-year-old MVP. Now, this guy, Deni Avdija, he doesn't do one thing exceptionally well, like James Wiseman defense. You have Anthony Edwards with the scoring, LaMelo Ball with the passing, but he can do it all, man. This 6'9" versatile guy, he can do everything. He doesn't have really too many weaknesses on the court. He can hit the open jump shot. He can create shots for himself and his teammates off the dribble. His post game is nice. The guy can cut without the ball, off the ball, to get his own shot, get easy buckets in the paint. So you can tell he has that basketball IQ, and you can tell he was coached well. His father, let me not pronounce his name wrong, Zufar Avdija, he played for
pretty good.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, his father played professionally for the Yugoslavian national basketball team. So he has some good pedigree going on for him right there. Now, he does need to build some muscle weight. He's 6'9", but only 225 pounds. He can become a dribble machine at times, and he does need to gain more confidence in his left hand. Now, but the thing is, the guy, he can play any wing position, a 2 or a 3. He can definitely be a stretch 4 big man out there on the court, and he can even play some point forward in super big lineups. This guy has loads of potential coming into the NBA, and so I see Deni Avdija falling to number 4 to the Chicago Bulls. I think he's going to be a Chicago Bull, even though the Bulls have $28 million invested in the small forward position with Otto Porter Jr., but Porter Jr. would be a free agent in 2021.
I got to feel he'd get traded. They're going to find a way to get rid of him, I think, before the season starts.
But the thing about Deni Avdija is he probably don't need, I don't think he's going to come in killing like Luka did coming from Europe, you know what I mean? And so he might need a year to come off the bench and back somebody up, you know, if the Bulls don't trade Otto Porter. But that's why I'm projecting him to go to number 4. But I feel like he may need a year to gain some weight, get some strength, adapt to the NBA game. And if this guy has some success in the league, the NBA, the fans are going to love him. He's a very intense player. He wears his emotions on his shoulder. So the guy has all-around game. And so, this guy, he can be very exciting, but I think it's going to take him a little while to get comfortable in the league.
You say the Bulls. I'm hearing a lot of rumblings about him going to the Warriors. The Warriors, he might actually go number 2 to the Warriors. I've heard, the Warriors had interviews with him. They worked him out. I don't know what happened, but Steve Kerr is like in love with him. So that's what they say. Now that could be a ploy for them to try to make a team jump up and trade. So that could be a trick.
You know what? I ain't gonna lie. I believe them that they love him. Now I don't necessarily believe they'll draft him. I think they probably would trade the pick. But when you look at the film, look at Deni Avdija, you don't see many weaknesses.
Yeah, he checks all the boxes.
Yeah, he checks all the boxes. But like I said, he don't do one thing super great, but he can do it all, and he's very versatile. So I get 6'9". I mean, he's gonna get bigger. So
it sounds like a Golden State type of player.
Right. You used to back in the day. You have a lot of apprehension, a lot of doubt about the European players coming over and translating, but not these days. We play European style in the NBA now.
Exactly.
This guy, he's going to benefit from the lack of physicality that the NBA is presenting to the players. You got a lot of those guys that used to shy away from the contact. Now the game is set up to penalize the contact.
Yeah.
So these guys can flailing all over the court and Euro stepping. They can make it in the NBA now. So I think he's going to be he should be slotted higher than 4, in my opinion. So.
Yeah, you're right, though. You make a good point, Vegas. The NBA has definitely went European, not in a bad way. It's
right.
Because they play good basketball over there. But this definitely translated over to the NBA. There's no question about it. Because they've been doing the small ball, big man shooting threes and stuff. They've been doing that for years upon years. So that's a very good point. We got one more. We got a kid from France. Killian Hayes. And here we go. The comparisons are already coming in. He's the next Luka Doncic. This is the comparison he's getting. He's 6'5", 210 pounds. His IQ for the game, they say, is off the charts. He's a very talented scorer. They actually call him the James Harden of France because he's a left-handed. He's got the step-back jumper and all that. Now, the cons is that he needs a lot of work on his right hand. He's not good with his right hand. And in the NBA, players see that, they're going to attack it. So he's going to have to get that. But it was an astonishing stat. He's not a good spot-up three-point shooter. But off the dribble, he shoots better threes off the dribble, meaning dribbling into a three-pointer rather than just catching and shooting. He shot 42% on threes off the dribble. That is an amazing stat.
Wow.
That's why I get that James Harden.
Yeah, that's right.
Of course.
But he only shot 18% from standstill threes, like a wide up spot. So it's a crazy stat. Yeah, but
he's all over.
But he's a scorer. He can get in the lane. He can do the step back jumpers. He's a good scorer, and he can pass a little bit too. Defensively, he looks for the big plays. He's more of a let me chase down block, or I'm gonna go for the steal. He needs work on his one-on-one defense. He may not be there yet. But he's getting a lot of comparisons because he's a big guard, and now they feel like the big guards from overseas can kind of bully the little guards over here in America. So that's why he's getting a lot of attention. Last year in the Euro Cup, he averaged 12.8 points a game, 6.2 assists. But he's getting a lot of hype. And I feel like he's going to drop to number 4 to our Chicago Bulls. I think that's who's going to come because the Bulls are in need of a point guard. Now, he's more of a scorer to me than a point guard, but I still think he don't get past the Bulls at number 4.
See, that's where we disagree. I feel like, you think Deni Avdija might go number 2.
That's why I think. Now, if Deni Avdija goes to number 4, then I want the Bulls should get him. Right. But I don't think he's getting past Golden State.
So you think Hayes would be the point guard and Kobe White would go to the 2?
Sort of, yes.
We'll put LaVine at the 3.
LaVine at the 3?
He can play. He's athletic enough to play the 3. He's 6'7", jump out the gym.
It's gonna be something like that. But I don't see what else you. Listen, remember we got new GM, we got new president of basketball. They built Denver up. This is exactly how Denver was built up. Yeah. Baltimore wing players, they don't care about position. They want to play positionless basketball.
Arturas Karnisovas, the new president of basketball, vice president of basketball operations for the Chicago Bulls. He drafted the Joker. Definitely, and then you got Joseph Nurkic. He was in on that too. So he loves Emmanuel Mudiay. He was in on that too. So he loves the international players. Yeah. But I do disagree with you. I think that I feel like he's going to go past the Bulls, and I think he's going to fall to Detroit. Now, Detroit would love to have him because the only point guard they got is D Rose, and D Rose, he's going to be a free agent in 2021.
He's going to be traded to the Lakers. He's going to a championship contender this year. I think somebody's going to get him. Somebody's getting him.
So Detroit, they would love for Killian Hayes. The Bulls not drafting because the number 5 pick. Cleveland got the number 5 pick, but they already got 2 decent point guards. I mean, 2 guards. Darius Garland, Colin Sexton. Number 6, you got Trae Young. With the Atlanta Hawks, they got the number 6 pick. So I think he would fall to number 7 to Detroit.
I mean, that can happen. But you got to look at, so you got Anthony Edwards going number 1, right? I mean, it's possible, right?
It's very possible.
It's very possible.
Yeah.
And number 2 is Wiseman. I think Wiseman falls. I think he's going to fall in the draft a little bit.
You think Wiseman going to fall?
I think he's going to fall.
I think he might go number 2 regardless. Because if they pick him, they're going to keep him. If they don't, if they draft him and trade him, he's still going number 2. I think because somebody's going to trade up to get him.
I wouldn't be surprised if what Roach is saying is correct, that he falls in the draft. I think because his skills is everybody like Deni Avdija, and Anthony Edwards, LaMelo Ball. I think those are the top 3 players in the draft.
Yeah,
I think if Avdija falls to the Bulls at 4, that would be a steal.
That's what I'm saying. But I don't think I think Golden State. That's who they get because that's their type of player. You know, versatile, tall, can do multiple things with the basketball. Can help with
But the problem is then who they gonna have in the paint? If they take number 2, if they take Deni Avdija, and then you got Draymond Green playing center and power forward, you got Looney. Who's gonna check AD? So that's why
everybody's afraid of AD. I think the AD effect is gonna affect the draft.
Yeah, you're gonna be right, but Golden State they don't care about that. Like, don't give it. I feel like they need a big man. I feel like they do, but Golden State. I wouldn't be surprised if they go over the skill, over the big man.
But they trying to win a championship next season. Deni Avdija, he's 225 and 6'9", great size, but he needs to fill out. He needs to gain some weight, and I don't think he's going to be ready to contribute to our NBA Finals team.
Nah, he might not start, but he might come off the bench. They might get him. They might like, you know what? Now, what you said earlier about the potential, this could be a potential pick for Golden State because this is Steph Curry, like I say, Steph Curry and Clay is getting older. Draymond too. They still young. They got plenty of years left.
Right.
But they get, this could be a future pick. This could be, and who's got more potential going forward, him or Wiseman?
I would say Deni Avdija got more potential. I think Deni Avdija got more potential going forward than James. I think James Wiseman
is the same age, right? They're both 19.
Yeah, they're both 19. I see James Wiseman as a Serge Ibaka. I see Deni Avdija he can be like an all-star. He can be perennial.
If you were a GM in that moment, like I know, look, the mission is to beat the Lakers. You got to get big. Who says Golden State? They might pick him and still go get a big man out there in free agency or something. Get big guys.
Not too many free agents.
Somebody's going to come play with him though. Somebody.
They're going to get somebody. So I mean, it's tough. So. But here's a question before we go, maybe Vito. So if Wiseman don't go number 2, where does he go?
Probably to the Bulls.
Are the Bulls gonna get him?
Get him over to Killian Hayes? Or what was you thinking?
Where does Wiseman go? If Golden State do not take him at number 2, where does he go?
He slips. He might slip down
to like number 10 or number 9.
Number 10, yeah. He might slip as far down as number 9 and number 10.
I think he go to 6 to Atlanta.
6? If they don't need him at all.
They got John
Collins.
And who?
They still got Clint Capella. Clint Capella, right? This the guy that y'all been talking about.
What about the Knicks at number 8? You got the Knicks at number 8.
I don't think Knicks won't hit. I don't know. He might go to the Knicks, but I'm just saying he's going to drop. If he don't go to Golden State,
he's going to fall. You're right.
He's going to fall.
He's going to be sitting there. They're going to be if the crowd.
They're going to have it on Zoom. He's going to be sitting there. So I mean, I don't know. I think the Bulls for what they need, they're gonna if they can't get Deni Avdija. I think if Killian Hayes is available at number 4, I think that's who they gonna get. Because I think he fits what the Bulls are trying to do with Billy Donovan right now, head coach. In their front office, I think they'll work with him because they want somebody who can be a playmaker. The Bulls want playmakers. Right. That's their biggest emphasis in this draft. He don't have a right hand, but he is a playmaker. Yeah. So we shall see. We done talked about like the players that's been getting talked about a lot in the draft. Let's talk about a couple sleepers. Adi, I'm gonna start with you, Adi. Give me a sleeper, or if you got a couple, give me some sleepers that players we need to watch for in this draft.
Well, you know what? I don't think there's a team in the draft that can't use another shooter, okay? This guy, Aaron Nesmith, that's my sleeper of the draft.
I like that.
Yeah, this guy, he's a pure natural shooter. It comes natural to the guy. The man's 6'6", 215 pounds. He just finished his sophomore season at Vanderbilt. And so the man is good. He can cut off screens. He can catch and shoot on rhythm, hitting shots on the move. This guy is deadly from downtown whenever the defense is too slow to rotate to him and close out on him on the jump shot. The guy shot 52% from three-point land last season. The man, he's a floor spacer. That's what he is. He has the strength, the effort, and the technique to at least be a 3-and-D guy. His floor is 3D all day. All right, but his weaknesses is that he can't really create his own shot off the dribble. He struggles with that. He will pump fake you and drive and finish. He's athletic. He will dunk on you occasionally and finish strong in the paint off a pump fake. Or he can pump fake and drive, stop, and pop for a nice little mid-range jumper and things like that. And he did only play 14 games last season because of a stress fracture in his foot. And so he only played 14 games. The sample size is not that big. But to me, 14 games is enough for you to be lighting it up every day. He's going to be one of them guys. He's going to fall in between, 10 and 18. That's what most mock drafts have him going. And so I see him. You saw what Tyler Hero did as a rookie for Miami. Duncan Robinson and all these shooters getting hot. I see him going in the middle of the first round.
I like that, Vito. Give me some sleepers.
I got a few. I'm going to start off with Malachi Flynn from San Diego State. Pure point guard. He's going to rate out really, really high. Very athletic, long arms. He's going to do a lot in the NBA, in my opinion. Paul Reed. DePaul. Y'all know about Paul Reed? I think he's going to be one of the best kept secrets because he fits all of those things, checks off all the boxes in terms of power forward. You want to be able to have a rim protector, a rim runner, somebody that's going to muck it up and make sure that the team is going in the right direction from a defensive intensity standpoint. He didn't do it a lot at DePaul because DePaul was a mess, but you can see it. He had flashes. Last but not least, I'm a homer. I'm a Duke fan, so I'm going to go with Cassius Stanley. A lot of people are not talking about Cassius Stanley because he's a little older. He went to a prep school route. He was kind of floating around, but his athleticism is off the charts. And when you see that type of athleticism with his skill set, it's going to be hard to not put him in the game in the NBA and let him see what he can do. So those are mine.
Yeah, I like those. I like Cole Anthony from North Carolina. I think he's going to be a scorer. I know he got hurt last year, but he came and stormed into the college basketball early, and he got hurt. So hopefully he's healthy to go. He was an 18-point scorer coming right off as a freshman. And I think wherever he goes, he's going to be like between 15 to 20 or something like that. And a lot of my drafts got him going to Dallas. If he goes down to Dallas with Rick Carlisle coaching him, I think it'd be a great fit. And I also like Jalen Smith, the guy from Maryland. I think he's a big guy, athletic. I like him. I think he can really help a team out too. So those are my two sleepers right there.
Yeah, I like Cole Anthony, his father. Former Knick.
He was highly rated coming out of high school. He was the number one player in the country for a long time in high school. So I think the injuries and the fact that North Carolina didn't do very well. I'm not saying nothing bad about North Carolina, but they were really injured last year and they didn't achieve in the tournament. They didn't get a chance to play in the ACC tournament like they were supposed to. That was his time to shine. So I like that. There's a lot of other guys. It's going to be a really unique draft. Yeah, it's going to be really unique because we didn't see the tournament. Yeah, we didn't see the conference tournament, and then we didn't see the NCAA tournament, and then we're not going to have the luxury of being able to see them in the combine. Yeah, going against each other, working out. Even though the top 5 guys that usually sit out, all the rest of the guys, and you see somebody shooting up the chart, 45-inch vertical, off the chain with the shuttle drill and all that. So we're not going to be able to get a chance to see that. So a lot of these picks, a lot of the stuff we talked about today is going to be up in the air. I think everybody trading. I think it's going to be a trade bonanza.
You make a good point, though. The one thing about this is unknown. So a lot of these players actually might come out and do good because you just don't have a lot of tape on. True. You haven't seen them play. So a lot of these players could come out the gate and play really well. And then once you get your homework and tape, then we'll see who is who. But off the top, some of these players might play good because we just don't know. We don't know. This is just a weird year. It's a weird year in sports. I mean, usually the NBA is starting right now, and they're about to have a draft. Right. So it's just a crazy time. But hopefully, some of these players are panning out. We shall see. A lot of these players go, like you said, because of unfamiliar we don't know about. So it's going to be some player we don't know about. It happens all the time in the draft that's going to stand out. So let's see what happens. You've been watching Spectator Sporting. Make sure you go to Spectator Sporting on the YouTube page. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment. I want to thank my man Vito for talking about the draft with it, man. Much appreciated. Until then, in the meantime, we out. Peace.